The town of Hollow Creek, Michigan was once a lively hub. Now it stands as a ghost of its former self. The silence is heavy, burdened by a haunting past. At the edge of town, shrouded in an overgrowth of ivy and shadowed by looming trees, sits Mercy Hospital. Once a beacon of hope, it now stands abandoned. Its windows are like vacant eyes, staring out at the town below. The paint peels from the walls like shedding skin, revealing the building's decaying bones. The air around the hospital is thick with the smell of decay and the weight of forgotten memories. Locals whisper tales of strange occurrences. Unexplained noises and eerie apparitions sent shivers down their spines, but none dared to speak of the horrors that transpired within room 307. The building is a testament to time's passage and the chilling events it has witnessed. The hospital, and once a place of healing, has become a sanctuary for something far more sinister. Its presence can be felt in the stillness of the air, the rustle of leaves, and the unsettling quiet that pervades every corner of Hollow Creek. Whispers of room 307 have circulated through the town for decades. Each tale is more disturbing than the last. Patients who once occupied that room spoke of vivid nightmares. They would wake with scratches on their bodies, unable to explain the cause. Some claimed to see a shadowy figure lurking in the corners of the room. The stories were dismissed as hallucinations or the ramblings of the ill, but the consistency of their accounts was unsettling. It was as if the room itself was infected with a malevolence that seeped into the minds of those who dared to sleep within its walls. The air grew heavy with dread as tales of room 307 spread, painting a picture of an entity that thrived on fear and despair. One night, a young nurse named Sarah was assigned to the night shift on the 3rd floor. She had heard the whispers, but she was a woman of science and reason. She dismissed them as mere superstition. As the night wore on and the halls grew quiet, Sarah felt a chill run down her spine as she approached room 307. She paused at the door, a sense of unease washing over her. As she peered into the room, her blood ran cold. There in the corner stood the shadowy figure from the patient's tales. Its eyes glowed with an eerie red light piercing the darkness. Sarah stumbled back, her heart pounding in her chest. The figure took a step toward her and Sarah fled. She ran through the halls of the hospital, her screams echoing through the empty corridors. From that night forward, Sarah refused to return to the 3rd floor. As the years passed, the stories continued. More patients reported terrifying experiences. The hospital staff grew increasingly agitated. The once sacred halls of healing had transformed into a place of fear and dread. Then, one fateful night, the silence was shattered by blood-curdling screams. The screams seemed to come from every corner of the hospital at once. The authorities were called, but upon arrival they found the hospital deserted. The patients and staff had vanished without a trace. The only evidence of the horrors that had transpired was the chilling silence that now hung over the abandoned building. Mercy Hospital was closed down immediately. The doors were sealed shut and the building was left to rot. Years later, a group of urban explorers known as the Night Stalkers decided to confront the legend of room 307. Led by the fearless and skeptical Jake, the group consisted of Emily, the tech expert, Ben, the historian, and Chris, the cameraman. It was Halloween night, and the group saw it as the perfect opportunity to uncover the secrets hidden within the hospital's decaying walls. They had heard tales of the hospital's haunted past, but dismissed them as local folklore. Their mission was simple: to document the truth behind the legend of room 307. Equipped with cameras, flashlights, and EMF readers, they approached the looming structure under the cover of darkness. Section 6. Approaching the unknown. As they approached the hospital, the air grew heavy with anticipation. The wind howled through the trees, creating an eerie symphony of sound that sent shivers down their spines. The group navigated through the overgrown bushes and broken glass, their hearts pounding with a mix of excitement and trepidation. The front doors groaned open, revealing a dark and cavernous space. The smell of decay permeated the air, thick and suffocating. They pressed on, their flashlights cutting through the darkness as they made their way toward the infamous third floor. Each step seemed to amplify the oppressive atmosphere, and the silence was broken only by the sound of their own breathing. Section 7. The Red-Eyed Spectre. Reaching the third floor, they felt an immediate drop in temperature. The air grew heavy, and a sense of dread washed over them. They moved down the hallway, their flashlights dancing over peeling paint and dust-covered floors. Finally, they reached room 307. The door, sealed shut for years, stood before them. Jake, his heart pounding in his chest, reached out and turned the handle. The door creaked open, revealing a room frozen in time. Dust caked every surface, and the only light came from their flashlights. Suddenly, a cold breeze swept through the room, extinguishing their lights and plunging them into darkness. As their eyes adjusted, they saw him. The shadowy figure with glowing red eyes stood in the corner, just as Sarah had described all those years ago. Section 8. Morning's grim discovery. A chilling laugh echoed through the room, sending shockwaves of fear through their bodies. Panic surged through the group, and they stumbled backward, tripping over themselves in their haste to escape. They fled the hospital, their screams echoing through the night. Back in the safety of their van, they tried to rationalize what they had seen, but the experience left an indelible mark on their souls. The next morning, they returned to the hospital, hoping to find a logical explanation for the events of the previous night. As they approached room 307, their hearts sank. Section 9. The legend continues. Scrawled across the door in what appeared to be blood was a single word: leave. The chilling message sent shivers down their spines, confirming their worst fears. The legend of room 307 was real, and they had inadvertently awakened something sinister. The events of that night changed the Night Stalkers forever. They realized that some mysteries are best left unsolved. The experience humbled them, forcing them to confront the unknown and the terrifying reality that some things simply defy explanation. The legend of room 307 lives on, a chilling reminder that some places are forever tainted by the darkness that resides within.